67 years where Irish star Finn Bálor stands in the centre of the Capital Wrestling Centre. Across the ring, young, up-and-coming technical excellence. Isn't it funny how these things keep coming round? This is NXT TakeOver 31 Graded. Off the bat, love the CWC. Great opening video that gives us a bit of flavour of the past. NXT is brilliant at leaning in to the heritage of WWE, and I love this mini Thunderdome that we have assembled here. The downside is the commentary tonight, and I want to address that elephant in the room fairly quickly. I think we talked about this on a previous takeover. Vic Joseph is there live, Wade Barrett and Beth Phoenix are there via a Zoom call, and whilst the comms they do is great, because they are working from what Beth and Wade are seeing, which is on a beat or so's delay, all of Vic's big calls happen a beat or so after the move has happened. And I noticed it all night, and I nearly tweeted about it, but I thought, no, I'm worried it might ruin it for you, so I won't. The commentary was great. That was just a little thing that slightly annoyed me. And I love the mini Thunderdome that we now have at the Performance Center. Sorry, the Capital Wrestling Center. Opening match of the night, it's Johnny Gargano challenging Damian Priest for the NXT North American Championship. It starts with Priest overpowering Gargano, but Johnny is wily. He hits an arm drag off the apron to take Damian Priest to the ground, and from there he wears down on the leg and the arm of Priest like a champion. A dive outside the ring by Gargano and a razor's edge onto the hardest part of the ring, the apron, leads us into the second act. Gargano chops down the mighty redwood that is Damian Priest with a chop block once again. Gets some near falls off a sliced bread #2 and a roll through off of a South of Heaven. Priest will hit that South of Heaven shortly after this, and in an incredible moment we see Gargano taking a powder out of the ring and Damian Priest charging across the ring, dives with a senton out of the ring, but Gargano at the last minute pulls security personnel in front of him and they eat this massive flying Damian Priest for supper. Shortly after this, the referee is out checking on the security guard, so he's distracted and we see Gargano hoof Priest with a big owl low blow. Goes back into the ring for a super kick and gets a near fall from the super kick. Gargano goes for one final beat, but Priest isn't having it. As Gargano hooks the arm and is on the way down, Priest stops him in mid-flight, hoists him back up, leans him onto the ropes, and hits the Reckoning from there and gets the cover 1, 2, 3. Damian Priest retaining the NXT North American Championship. Giving this bad boy an A. What a way to start the night tonight. Just high-octane action from both guys. The perfect pace to kickstart this show tonight. Damian Priest, as I said on previous episodes of Graded, this guy is the star on the rise, and a win over Gargano absolutely puts him in pole position to lead NXT from here. I loved this match. What a way to start the show. Next up, it is Velveteen Dream facing Kushida. There's a Back to the Future vibe about this particular match, as Velveteen Dream is showcasing on the top rope. Here's Kushida. No music, no entrance, no airs and graces. He attacks Dream from behind to get this match underway, and this is a slugfest for the better part, with Kushida showing off this newfound intensity throughout. Kushida is just laser focused on ripping the arms out of the socket of Velveteen Dream. Multiple different variations on the arm lock and the arm wringer. At one point he's pulling Velveteen Dream like arms through the corner turnbuckle, so his shoulders are crashing into the post several times. But however, Dream keeps finding ways out of the armbar. One time he rolls out of the ring. The other time he manages to scurry through, get a poke in the eye and hit a powerbomb out of it as well. He just keeps finding ways to stay alive with this one. Out of nowhere, Velveteen Dream hits a Dream Valley driver, follows it up with a purple Rainmaker onto that injured elbow, goes back up for another one, but Kushida meets him up there, gets the hoverboard lock off of the top rope. Dream is down. Dream picks him up for a Dream Valley driver, nails it, but Kushida holds on to the hoverboard lock all the way down. And as soon as Dream hits the ground once again, he almost taps out immediately to that one, and Kushida wins the match. Afterwards, as the referee holds up Kushida's arm, he goes back to Velveteen Dream, and he is just wearing out the arm of the Dream. Keeps putting the locks on the arm. It looks as if we're rising Velveteen Dream off of TV with this. It's just a beating from this aggressive, ballistic Kushida. Giving this one a B. Lots to enjoy about this one. I've been struggling to buy into Kushida as this newfound aggressive member of the NXT roster, but for the first time, I think, since they started going down this path, I actually started believing it. Like, there was a real fire in the eyes of Kushida here, which I really liked. I think this is also writing Velveteen Dream off of NXT TV, and with allegations still in the air, that's the right thing to do. Take him off air and get all of that resolved. But it was a gritty, aggressive grudge match. Enjoyed the work here. This was a B. We then get the announcement. NXT is bringing back Halloween Havoc. The WCW trademark event is going to be an NXT TV special at the end of this month, hosted by Shotzi Blackheart. One thing that NXT has done really well this year, between the Capitol Wrestling Center reveal today, the Great American Bash in your house, and now Halloween Havoc, they are great at taking this bowl of disgusting slop that is 2020 and seasoning it with nostalgia, just to take the edge off. Chef's kiss. The Cruiserweight Championship on the line next. It is Santos Escobar, complete with mask and sombrero, defending against Isaiah Swerve Scott. Am I the only one that missed his Swerve's house? It's a great theme song. Great theme song. Solid back and forth to get us started, but we see Swerve start to pull away with various moonsault variations out of the ring onto the champion, then starts to wear down the arm with some joint manipulation, wrapping his arm around the turnbuckle post as well outside of the ring. Santos manages to find a little way into this match, hits a dive outside the ring and a Frankensteiner to get back in this. Then he's just insulting Isaiah Swerve Scott. You can just hear him talking down to him, slaps him hard in the face. This wakes up Swerve, who just fights back with a beautiful Rolling Thunder flatliner and a DDT from the Shattered Dreams position, which I really liked. So it's like his legs are pinned up in the corner and he just hooks him with a DDT. That looked great. Near fall though. Legado del Fantasma hit the ring, but Swerve's got this figured out, it seems. He hits a Frankensteiner onto Santos Escobar outside the ring into his lads, but they end up catching him. And it looks as if they might be walking him back to the locker room. But suddenly, here's Ashante Adonis, the artist formerly known as Tahuti Miles, who evens the sides, sends Legado del Fantasma packing, and it's back to one-on-one. In the ring, Swerve shocks the world by kicking out of the Phantom Driver. And the match continues from there, with Swerve finally getting a big push, hits the house call, hits the 450, only gets a 2.99999. Genuinely feel like that could have been the end of the match, but certainly suckered me in. They end up fighting on the apron, and there's some confusing back and forths as they fight on the apron, which ends with Swerve falling backwards and banging his head onto part of the ring post. Now, it looks like he bangs his head on the bit that connects the turnbuckle pad to the actual post, and it just knocks him silly. So Santos takes advantage, pulls him back into the ring, nails another Phantom Driver, and picks up the 1, 2, 3. And Santos Escobar retains the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. What a match. This is an A- for me. These guys just threw it all out there. It was crisp. It was busy at points, but I was always invested in the match. I thought Legado del Fantasma running out was going to lead to the end, and it didn't. I thought we would see Swerve win the belt here, and he didn't. The finish was a bit weird. I think they sort of called this earlier on. They had a bit of the match near that turnbuckle post. It was quite subtle. I feel like Swerve should have won here as well. Like, he's had a couple of chances at the Cruiserweight Championship, and shenanigans lead to him coming up short each time. So I feel like this should have been the night that he won, regardless of who won and what have you. This was a great match. Absolutely stunning stuff. Io Shirai defending her NXT Women's Championship next against Candice LeRae. Earlier on, Shirai very much dominates this one. Candice gets a look in following a backstabber in the corner, and then she slows things down, raking the face of Shirai on the ropes, wearing her down with rest holds, just generally being a bit of a heel. But she's getting frustrated that she can't get the pin onto the champion. Shirai just keeps on keeping on. Shirai gets a look in this match after a Tiger Feign kick and a missile drop kick. She also hits the bullet train, but doesn't quite get the Duke on Candice LeRae just yet. They go back and forth exchanging German suplexes. They go back and forth exchanging crossfaces, and Gargano escapes, neither getting a true purchase at this point. The ref gets knocked down after Candice is forced to break the Gargano escape. The ref also eats a bit of an Io Shirai moonsault, so he's pretty much done for the time being. Candice manages to find a way to get a cover onto Shirai, and here comes Johnny Gargano in a referee's t-shirt with the fast count. How is that allowed to happen? Shirai manages to kick out despite Gargano's efforts to quickly count her down. Another referee comes into the ring to admonish Johnny Gargano, who's about to present his wife with the NXT Women's Championship anyway. As he's arguing with the referee, Candice grabs the championship belt, bops Io Shirai with it, but only gets a 2 count off of that. Shirai quickly shakes off the championship belt shot, gets up top and hits a Spanish fly onto Candice LeRae, follows it up with a moonsault for the 1, 2, 3. Shirai retains her NXT Women's Championship against the odds. As she stands in the ring celebrating, we see a familiar face appear on the Tron, and there is Toni Storm. Toni Storm. Toni Storm announces that she is part of NXT. She is back, and it is soon to be Toni time. She puts on her sunglasses and looks pretty cool. So there we go. Toni Storm is back. Just as Io Shirai is contemplating how Toni time changes with daylight savings, we suddenly see the motorbike, the mysterious motorbiker, ends up at the CWC, gets off the bike, enters the building, and walks out onto the ramp. And I'm thinking, is that Toni Storm? Have they shot these bits in the wrong order? Are we about to see Toni Storm getting revealed here? Helmet comes off, and it's Natsuki from Doki Doki Literature Club. Oh my god, I knew it! She's here. No, it wasn't. It was only flipping Ember Moon, who we thought was done with wrestling altogether. Ember Moon back in NXT. This was a great moment. Great to see Ember Moon. She stares down Io Shirai as this segment comes to an end. Oh, right, now the match between Candice and Shirai and all the shenanigans at the end, it all gets a B+ from me. I thought the match was very, very, very good. The bar is very high tonight. And this was still a really good match, a great intensity between these two. I don't know how I feel about having 2 returns, like one after the other. I don't know whether seeing Toni was meant to be a fake out for the reveal of the motorcyclist. I don't know if that was the case, but it just felt like you could have done. It felt like a lot to do 2 at the same time, in my opinion. Both great returns, exciting times for the NXT Women's Division with these 2 back in it. We come to main event o'clock of what has been an amazing night at NXT TakeOver 31. It is the NXT Championship. Finn Bálor defending against Kyle O'Reilly. Solid technical wrestling to start this bit, with Bálor taking the lead, at one point using Kyle O'Reilly's arm as an air guitar while he pulls his arm back with a hold. I thought it was quite cute. Bálor lands a back kick into the guts of Kyle O'Reilly, and we see Kyle just sort of crumple to the ground from here. And Kyle is in, it seems to be a great bit of distress here. I'm not quite sure how much of this is he all right? Is he actually all right? And from what we gather, this was the thing all along. It was Kyle O'Reilly who just got a real bad shot in the guts early on. And it is quite literally a gut check for Kyle, who pushes back into this match, landing some Muay Thai strikes, double underhook suplex combos. At one point, Bálor lands the Pele kick, and we see Kyle bounce off the ropes and hit a lariat Les Kellett special occurring at TakeOver, which made me very happy. Kyle's fighting through the pain, but Balor's wearing him down. I think at one point he might have bit his tongue because we've got blood running from the mouth of Kyle O'Reilly as Balor continues to wear him down here. It's quite the visual. Kyle is pushing back with big moves, but Balor keeps chopping him down. We do see Kyle O'Reilly kick out of the 1916 and avoid a coup de grace in the process, or a coup de grace as Wade Barrett calls it, which sounds like some kind of garden feed. Kyle O'Reilly hits 2 dragon whips off of the ring apron onto Balor's leg, and that is the target for Kyle going forward, just wearing down that leg of Balor. Grapevining an ankle lock at one point to really cinch it in. Kyle's focused on the leg of Balor. Balor can barely stand after Kyle wears down on his leg, but he manages to gut through the pain and land 2 standing coup de grace onto Kyle O'Reilly. And despite Kyle's best efforts to fight back with a big running knee in the corner, which we think may have dislocated Balor's jaw, we see Balor go up top and land a coup de grace for the 1, 2, 3. Quite a sudden end to the match. And obviously we've seen stuff about Balor's jaw getting knocked out of shape, whether or not they cut out a little bit and went straight to the end, or whether this was the story of just, it wasn't a pretty story, it was just a gutsy finish with a guy pulling out all the stops and even on a bad leg, just dropping that big signature move to get the win. Finn Balor retains the NXT Championship after one hell of a match between these two. They shake hands as a sign of respect as NXT is about to go off the air, but then suddenly we pan to the crowd and there's Ridge Holland, Yorkshire boy, and he's got Adam Cole over his shoulder, and Cole is not in a good way. He dumps Adam Cole onto the floor and walks off. Undisputed Era run out to check on Adam Cole, who's just on the ground coughing and spluttering. Just looks like he's been through a wood mill. He's not in a good way. As Kyle gets down there with him, Finn looks confused, the Era look despondent, and that is how we go off the air. Intriguing! Either way, the main event of NXT TakeOver is an A. These guys just had a gutsy, gritty, intense battle. It was everything we wanted it to be. The only slight thing, thought the finish came a bit out of nowhere, in my opinion. It came a bit out of nowhere. I don't know whether an injury exacerbated that, I don't know. But top marks to both. Kyle O'Reilly absolutely shone tonight. The best kept secret in wrestling. It's not much of a secret anymore. One of the finest technical wrestlers, no doubt of the future, going in there against an Irish star that has built the industry of NXT at least. So it's a nice parallel to the 50s and the launch of the Capital Wrestling Corporation there. And overall, NXT TakeOver 31 gets an A from me. This was possibly the best, and yeah, it was the best NXT TakeOver of the year. It had none of the bells and whistles in the build up to it as the other ones have. No fancy themed gimmicks, but when we got there, we got this great new venue and we just got some great wrestling matches. In the ring, they delivered and delivered. This was a great night for NXT. Loved the whole night. And the thing at the end with Ridge Holland, certainly didn't call that, but we're moving on to something. I'm intrigued. Isn't the whole thing about wanting to make people watch next week? I want to see why Ridge Holland is attacking the Era. I want to see what goes on next. So it works. It's great. Great night for NXT. Really enjoyed watching that. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.